Misfits and Yes Men, Andy Bigelow. This is far more personal than the other Yes Men movies. Where did that decision come from, and how did we get there?
You know, at a certain point, we really knew it had to be personal for a number of reasons, and I think we each had our own reasons. Mine was, during Occupy, a lot of people came up to us and said, you know, you guys are great, and I got my start in activism from seeing one of your movies, and it just kind of blew me away because I never really imagined that. And I wanted to kind of communicate the power of that, like realizing that what you've been doing for a long time actually has an effect, even if it seems to fail constantly. And for me, that, you know, all of our actions fail in a way. Any action fails. Protests fail. They all fail. Everything fails. But movements always succeed and achieve what they set out to achieve. And you can say that about pretty much any movement and anything good that we have. And Occupy felt and feels, because I think it's still Occupy going on.
With
like
Bernie
a
Sanders
that's
sort of having all the surprising support he's had.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders. In Spain, they're actually taking over all the cities. Podemos, the Occupy movement there. It's like a massive thing, and Black Lives Matter, I think, is part of it in a way. It's about inequality as well, through a different lens. And that was the excitement that I thought it was really important to convey with a personal story. We had to show our personal downs in order to show that personal up. You know, any activist who does a thing, they're all going to have these doubts. They're all going to. It's obvious. Like anything you do is like a failure in itself. But the message of the film is that put together cumulatively, movements win. And so you have to have these doubts. You have to show the doubts in order to know that, well, when you see that cumulatively wins, you get better. You don't have the doubts anymore.
Well, you also have, and you have personal lives. You know, like you have to balance giving to the community and to others and taking care of your own stuff. You know, kids and boyfriends, and you know, like the deals that are part of what's going on in the fabric. That's part of that, equilibrium you have to strike.
Well, and very few of us have, I mean, there's very few people who are like professional full-time activists. Like if you're going to do that, I mean, if they're not able to do that, then who's going to be able to do that? And the truth is that we all have to figure out a way to stay politically active no matter what we're doing in our life. We all have jobs, we have family responsibilities, we have stuff we have to do, and you've got to figure out a way to do something. I hope we have to figure out a way to do something. I mean, at least for me, it gives me some energy to be engaged in that way and be part of something that's bigger. It's not like you have this magical time where you have your time to do activism. You have to kind of squeeze it in somehow.
Shooting that just happened in Charleston, and I talked about the TPP fast track being pushed through the House, and I was saying how depressing. It's so appropriate for this movie that deals with sort of the exhaustion of being an activist. And then Laura just said, yeah, but the Pope came out against climate change. And I realized,
the Pope is a badass.
How crazy. If you heard that sentence 10 years ago, how insanely fantastic is that? And it kind of righted my whole, I was like, you're right, that's fucking awesome.